They put me in well, I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Some kind of conspiracy to marginalize me and you. We're not putting up with it. She looks guilty too.
This beautiful, crisp morning that we have before us. Enjoy those. It's easier to put on clothes than it is to take them off. Hot weather. Well, I don't know.
Dress that up a little bit more before you pray.
Everybody like that? Now I have everyone's attention. Well, I don't know where you were raised. With that being said, let's see if we can go to the Lord in prayer. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for these assembled here today to do the work of Jefferson County. Dear Lord, we're ever thankful and we're grateful for the camaraderie that we have as commissioners and through our management staff and our employees. Dear Lord, we ask that You keep us and guide us and continue to lead us on that path. Dear Lord, open our ears and cleanse our hearts so that we will fully receive those words that are said today and we will carry them out to Your benefit. Dear Lord, bless these proceedings. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Commissioner Scales will be able to begin with you, and then Commissioner Bowler.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the Public Works, Community Services, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee, we have no items on the Board of Equalization, one item for Environmental Services. Are there any questions as it relates to that item?
I'll move.
All right. All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
No items under General Retirement System, Human Resource, Compliance Office, Personnel Board. We have one item under our community grants for $2,500, and then we have an item of new business that we can take up at the appropriate time. Are there any questions as it relates to the item that is already before?
I move the item, and I also move for the consideration of one item of new business under District 1. Second and a second.
Okay. Been moved and properly seconded and seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
So our item of new business is in regards to WJ Christian School. It has already completed the process. I wanted to make sure that you saw that as well. And it's for a program that they have for their school annually. Are there any other questions as it relates to this particular item for WJ Christian School? The amount is $3,000 for those of you who are seeking the
I'll move the item.
So WJ Christian is, yeah, but you talking about what side of town is on? It's like you get off on Parkway East.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still, this has been through all the proper channels.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
not sure about Thursday.
All right, if not, I'll move Thursday. I move the item, I'm sure, contingent upon what Theo said.
oh, Lord. Okay. Well, we already got it in writing. So.
I need a second. Second?
Maybe.
Okay.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Thank you, Commissioners. That ends my report.
You're welcome. Commissioner Bowling.
Yes, sir.
You're the man.
Yes, sir. And I thank you, President. One matter of economic development this morning. We have no IT. I could take the number one on economic development, and 772, the one that Jeff is passing out now.
All right, good morning, everyone. What
what we've got before us today is a request for incentives from an existing company in District 2, Consolidated Pipe. Consolidated Pipe has a history here in Birmingham going back to 1960. They currently have a number of facilities within the area and are headquartered on the campus of Birmingham Southern College. The company is at a point to where they are needing to expand their headquarters and add capacity. And after an exhaustive search for property within the area, both within and outside of Jefferson County, they've decided to try to pursue a site off of Lakeshore Parkway for a $28.4 million investment in a new headquarters facility and warehouse. Tied to that would be an additional $450,000 investment in their existing Inslee facility to upgrade equipment and add new equipment. With this would be 40 new jobs created within the county at an average pay of $58,000 a year. The company is seeking assistance in the form of an incentive not to exceed $290,000 to help offset the development costs of the site. And the project would be tied to clawbacks related to the job creation, as is typical for most of the projects that we do. At this point, I would like to ask Barry Houghton, CFO for Consolidated Pipe, to come up and give a little bit of more information about the company and their project. Barry?
Morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. Jeff really covered it very well, but to add a little bit more information to our company and our project, I don't know how many of you may be familiar with Consolidated Pipe, but founded in Birmingham, in East Thomas, part of Birmingham off the Arkadelphia exit in 1960. So we've been here in Birmingham for 64 years now. We've expanded all over the country. We're a wholesale distributor of pipe valves and fittings, as well as a fabricator, as well as a manufacturer. And our company has grown over the years. And in 1987, we moved on to the Birmingham Southern campus to make it our corporate headquarters building. And over time, we have outgrown that facility. So we have about 100 people squeezed in a 11,000 square foot office building. And we've got people anywhere you can imagine stuck in corners there because we just don't have any place to be. And then also, we have seen through all the facilities we've added around the country, the synergy of having our sales and distribution group together. And we don't have that right now. We have a distribution facility in Inslee that is strictly and is separated from our sales group. So because we were so pressed on room, because we wanted to get our sales and our distribution teams together, we began several years ago looking for a new facility, a place to build a new distribution center as well as our corporate office together. We spent over 2 years, could not find a suitable site that had enough acreage, and also kind of met our desire to stay in a somewhat natural wooded area if we could. So we finally, about I guess a year and a half ago, found this site off of Lakeshore. The only problem with this site is that it has huge development costs. It's a mountain running through the middle of that property that has to be cut down. And that's where we begin to work on how can we offset some of this investment just on preparing the site for a building. But it's going to cost around $7 million just to get that mountain cut down and be ready to build a building on it. So it's a $28-29 million project. We are committed, the Kerr family that owns Consolidated Pipe, it's still a family-held business, has been since the beginning, is very committed to staying in Jefferson County, staying in the city of Birmingham, and we like that piece there because it's kind of the heart of the city, which is a great location for us for all of our distribution and supply chain processes. So we found it, we liked it, we found a way to, just make it make sense to us, and so now we're beginning that process. We've worked with the neighborhood associations over there and gained all of their support, nearly unanimous support from every resident over there that they think will be a great member of that community and a great partner over there. And so now the project's getting close to coming together here, and that's where we would like to ask for a little assistance on some of our infrastructure costs. It's going to be probably $1.5 million just to get utilities up that mountain. When you're cutting through rock, a lot of those facilities get a little more utility distribution gets a little bit more challenging. So that's some of why we're doing that. When we move that distribution facility over to this Lakeshore office building, we're going to take the Inslee facility that currently serves as our distribution center and add a new operation that we haven't had before, where we're going to do some different things with our water treatment facilities, supply chain for water treatment, as well as steel pipe. So that will be a new operation for us that will also create jobs and value to that part of it. So we're not abandoning what we have there. We're just going to enlarge and add to what we currently do, and then move this distribution center where we can grow. We would have room to add another 25 people inside that corporate office, as well as in our distribution center. We intend to add a number more jobs there as well. So,
Very distribution center is going to take you to I-65, is that?
yes, sir.
Lakeshore I-65.
We'll be connected to I-65.
Got 25 new jobs. It does show a good return on investment.
It does. Over the life of the project, the return on investments for the county is estimated to be $1.1 million towards the general fund and just under $1 million towards education. Another point I forgot to mention earlier, their headquarters is currently located in District 2, as is the Inslee facility. This new facility would also be in District 2, so it's not changing districts.
I move down.
I was going to say, I actually had a couple of questions. If you don't mind. Good for you, Jeff. Then on the second, if you don't mind, you, Jeff, if you can get to the podium. Yeah, thank you. So I want to make sure that I'm getting what you're saying. So their overall capital investment is $28,400,000.
For the headquarters facility, and then a separate $450,000 towards the Inslee facility.
I got it. All right, and then the $290,000 is basically, when it says topography, just basically trying to make sure that we level off that land so they can even build on it. Is that right?
And it's to help offset the development costs, but what we did was tie it towards the cost of sewer infrastructure.
Okay.
To help offset that.
So basically, all that's being asked this morning is $290,000, right? Okay. Not only do I believe it's a good investment, what you said that I really like is that you were not going to abandon the building that you currently have in Inslee. That at least you would be cognizant of the fact that it didn't just need to be an empty building that could be used for illegal purposes, right? And but I wanted to make sure of what, because that's a small amount. That's not even 5% of the overall cost of do business. So anyway, I second that, Mr. President.
What is your, Mr. Howell, what's your timeline on this,
So we
once we get through us?
So we are nearly ready to begin excavation over there. It should begin within another month, perhaps. We're finalizing all the design work, all the architectural design work, and we're doing some geotech work. And they're getting very, very close to being ready to begin. So I'd say 30 days. When we wrap it up, I'm sorry.
Well, that's going to probably depend on how much rock you find and what else.
So it's about a 6 month. Yeah, it's about 6 months of excavation and then about 12 months of construction.
As I understand it, it's like amount, what will you do with what you take off to flatten it out?
So we're using CS Beatty to do that work in Russo, and they have found some places that will take the dirt. And that's really been a game changer for us to be able to do this project, because when we were going to have to haul all that dirt off, the cost was just going to be prohibitive. And so we found some sites, some construction sites they had going that would take the dirt, we give it to them, but it's good for us too. We just have to pay the hauling. And it needs to be within a certain distance to make it make sense for the hauling cost. But we've been able to find a couple of locations, a couple of projects that would take it. And the timing is critical too, because they're needing it soon. So we got to hit those timing windows as well.
What about the facilities you're in presently? You lease from BSC?
Well, actually, that's our building. We had a ground lease, an 80-year ground lease there, and we own the building. But a little over a year ago, we donated that building to Birmingham Southern. It was valued at $2.5 million. So we donated it to them, and then we began January of '23 paying them rent. So we paid them a considerable amount of rent, but we're, we believe in the school and we want to help the school, and that was part of it, was just to help them as well, and we knew we had to go anyway. Because part of our ground lease agreement was, if we ever left, we had to donate the building to the school anyway. So at some point, we were going to donate it to them, and they always kept nudging us to go ahead and do that. So,
Okay, thank you.
Oh, one other thing I want to point out real quick. The property is currently publicly owned, so it's completely off the tax rolls. So the income, tax revenue off the project is all net due to the
Well, you already got it moving, is that?
Well, I call for a vote, I'd like to echo a couple of things. One, glad you're doing what you can to help on that seven. It's not my school, but it's a fine school. That's great. I echo what Commissioner Scales said about Hensley. I grew up close to there. That entity doesn't need another vacant building, and this will actually add some jobs in there. And,
yes, sir.
I'm proud of you for that. Proud of you for the jobs created, estimated, 40, and county taking care of this clawback petition in case it doesn't work out. And then personally, I grew up not far from where this edifice will be, and know some people that live right up the hill, and they've been very anxious about what would come down below them for a long time. And I haven't found anybody that objects to this. I know this is the best that we get, so I thank you for taking the community's needs into consideration, and I hope to keep you here in County for at least another 6 years.
But when we met with the neighborhood association, several of them over there, we listened to them at their town hall meetings, if you will. And we made a lot of commitments to them of how we would do this, be very respectful of their homes and their communities. And so we're going to do some extra things to take extra care to make this a good thing for them too.
Y'all did a great job. The county did. Did your lawyer do anything besides hold us?
But
Just holding it up.
It's a good sign, Hogan.
It's a good picture.
very consistent. and
Raise it up, I want to see that bottom.
Barry, I just want to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
An easel is much cheaper.
And I have one in my office, and he said I didn't need it.
I understand that too.
Hold that up, I want to see the bottom.
So the purpose of the bottom is to show you the boundaries that we're maintaining with the trees and everything.
Okay. Where's that road coming off?
So the roads.
This is Tom Martin Drive, and this is Lake Shore down here.
That one uphill.
This is Ebonics right here.
Okay.
Look forward to it.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
This will be on Thursday at the 772. So, what I see, you don't really need to be here, I don't think.
I don't think so either, but
I think-
just have
I
a
think
whole
it-
phone near you.
If you have time, that's great. Rather you be out working on this.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all very much. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, next one, is that it?
We got,
I'll move whatever you got left.
1 through 3, other
Second.
business.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And that does it for District 5. Thank you, Mr.
Community Development and Health Service Committee. We have nothing with green up in the corner. Department of Community Services has several items. I'm going to go through them real quick. You've got 5 release of liens, which is pretty much straightforward. You have the Mount Olive Community Center contract 2024, and then makes it a revocable license that carries along that contract. You have architectural, CCR Architectural Interiors Racial Youth Center contract amendment. That may require some explanation. Cops and General Services, for the Jefferson Glenwood site work. You have Sentinel Engineering for the Irondale Storm Shelter. Are there any questions that we need to pull out for any of those items?
Hang on.
While you're looking over that, I'd like to update you, Commissioner Tyson's husband, Joe, is ill.
Oh, really?
And she was on her way in this morning, and he had a spell, and she turned around and went back. And he's doesn't appear to be heart related. It appears to be maybe a high hernia or something to deal with the esophagus and the stomach. So she asked if we would remember him in our prayers. So let you know that. Is there any items on the community department, community services? If not, Chair will entertain a motion.
Move items 1 through 10.
Have a motion second, all in favor say aye. Have district attorney salary adjustment for Birmingham attorney, $38,771.
Move the item.
Move second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The sheriff has white contractors on their sheriff's barracks. Like they're getting ready to spend their money. That's that $5 million that we had. Any questions on that?
Move the item.
No, it's in
It's in
process.
Is there any input to it to show what?
It's a barracks, yeah. We anticipated it was going to be more than that, and the sheriff is standing good for the overrides. I said that right, yeah?
That was it, Rick.
Yes.
Already moved.
Moving second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Tyson has 5 community grants that I know nothing about. So if you look at them, you have one to the Birmingham Board of Education, 6th Avenue Community Development, Encore Theater, Birmingham Black Nurses Association, Central Alabama, Caribbean American Association.
I move 1 through 5.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Mr. President,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
wanted to stop before we carry the vote. Attorney Lawson, on this one for Ramsey High School, because we have had a request there. Ramsey is number 1 under District 2 of the business. We want to add just specifically to Ramsey High School. Can we do that with this item, just so it can kind of run it in?
I need to look at the agreement and see if it is to both together. I think it's to both. You want to add additional dollars?
Ramsey's getting 3,000 out of that, and Winona is getting, getting 10,000 broken down by departments.
Okay.
3,000 is going to
If
the
it's-
baseball team.
Okay.
If it's broken-
Well, that's what I'm saying.
If it's
I figured it was
broken
for the
down.
baseball
Yeah,
team.
it's
No, but I'm saying I figured it was for the baseball team, so the baseball team is what I'm trying to add to.
I think we can probably, since it's broken out in two separate parts, if you want to add to it.
Yeah, I
we
want to
can-
add to the, so do I need to do it in this setting or Thursday?
If you would do it in this setting.
Okay,
And we
all right,
can-
so Mr. President, would you entertain that for me, since they had an ask?
There's been a request to add $3,000 to the Ramsey baseball team.
No, I didn't give the amount yet.
Okay.
No, he was explaining what their breakdown was.
All right, I'm sorry.
He's explaining their
How much you
breakdown.
give?
Huh?
How much you give?
I want to do 5,000.
There's a request this from District 1 to add to District 2's Ramsey High School baseball.
That's
For the amount
right.
of $5,000.
Correct.
Is that a form of amendment?
Yes, sir. So, you want me to make a motion?
No, you did.
Okay, all right.
And we'll wait for a second.
I'll second it, Ben.
Thank
Motion
you,
is
sir.
second, all in favor say aye.
Aye, thank you.
We're good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Administrative and infrastructure, roads and trends, Looks like we've been busy buying stuff to build roads. That's a wonderful thing. Come on up, y'all. Chris, come on.
Representative. Good morning, Commissioners. We have quite a few items. Item number one is a countywide culvert replacement project with ARPA funding. It's about 5 to 6 locations in each district. Each district's getting around roughly $275,000 worth of improvements across the board. So we spread out evenly, looking at our assets, what culverts need to be replaced, and trying to evenly distribute that amongst all the districts. Items 2 and 3 are both paving agreements with 2 separate cities, Fulton Downs and Silver Springs. Items 4, 5, 6, 7 are Caldwell Mill right-of-way tracks. 8 is Bell Hill right-of-way. 9, Lakeshore for that project. 10, 11, 12 are also right-of-way tracks purchases. Item 13 is our fleet management software. It's a training for the current software we use in fleet management, and is to provide additional training. And item 14 is our auction, items according to the auction.
Let me ask a couple questions. I'm glad to see that the corrugated metal culverts getting attention, because we have, I'm sure that's just a start.
It is, yes, sir. It's really the beginning of what we hope to do yearly. If this is a small piece of a yearly plan and really a 10-year plan of replacing those culverts. A couple of years ago, the county invested a lot of money into inspecting these culverts and to put this asset program together to identify what is in need now, what is in need soon. And but yes, sir, that's a long answer to say we are continuing on.
J.M. Wood, is that a negotiated, or is that pretty standard?
Yes, that's who we typically use yearly. I believe they've had the past couple of contracts to auction off our excess fleet.
Is that bid or is that locked in?
It is a bidded process, a yearly contract.
Thank you. Move 1 through 14.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Good job. Thank you. County Attorney had minutes from the March 7th meeting, and there's several insurance claims. Is there any questions for that?
I move 1 through 8.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
County Manager, 2 ARPA agreements.
No cost revision to the previous agreements to extend the time to allow them to complete the spending of the funds. One for substance use program with UAB, and the other one for EMS upgrades. 911 emergency communications.
Move 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. I have one item, that's Rock Creek Baseball.
So the item.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I move second. Is this from your funding?
Of course.
Why is that?
It's actually money that was
The
left over
metrics aren't in there, it's just.
from a project that they had last year that they were very astute and did not use the entire amount of money, and it was left over. And those that trans were working down there and they needed their area paved, which they didn't have enough parking because it's growing so much. And
But you said it's property that's owned by the county.
it's out.
We bought that recently, didn't we? Is that old school?
No, it's a completely different area. This is Rock Creek. You'll explain a little bit more, Creek?
Yes, sir. It is, so you have a few of these kind of where we maintain and some we don't maintain, that some leasing parties to county property for these ballparks. So the ballpark may be county property, but it's not maintained by the county, it's maintained by the Rock Creek, I'm not sure what the foundation, the school, the
Baseball.
athletic foundation. So what they have to do is they had a project from Commissioner Stevens' office in the past, didn't use all their money, had some leftover funding, identified some future paving they wanted to do, came back and said, hey, is the county willing to do this, we'll reimburse through the commissioner's office.
So the money came out of my discretionary funds, and instead of bringing it back and redistributing it, we kept it at Rock Creek and were able to give them parking for it.
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm not questioning that, I'm just questioning there wasn't any metrics down there.
Mr.
Yeah,
President,
and that's, it was just,
let me ask legal a question. So, is that kind of similar to the project that we're kind of working on too? About recapturing dollars that have not been spent?
No, that's all, their agreement was with that entity already, so it's not a reallocation and redistribution to a different entity or going back in their budget.
motion to second, all in favor, say aye.
Did it again.
Yeah, we did it twice, need to double clutch out. I appreciate that, everyone, they have over 650 kids down there now, and rolling leaps and bounds. There is no municipality there, no backstop, they depend on us.
You see what he was saying? I talked to him. They know.
You want second? Well, let's do, let's just stop what we're doing right now before we do Commissioner Knight and give you the floor.
Well, that's what I was gonna do anyway.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I come
Thank
with,
you
I'm Daniel Henry Jefferson County Tax Assessor, and I come with good news. We have just completed our new mapping project. Now, to some that may be just another project, but this is a huge project. There has not been a survey of the entire county in over 37 years. So we were in situations where we were losing information, not getting accurate information, and it's important because every department in Jefferson County depends on our maps. Even the city of Birmingham depends on our maps, and accurate information. So this was extremely important that we got this done. One of the questions that one of the commissioners asked me this morning, how much is it going to cost me? It didn't cost you a dime. We paid over $3 million out of our mapping and the appraisal budget for it, so it's paid for. We had a wonderful group of people to help us through this project. John will tell you more about it, but one in particular who was very important and integral to this project, Lisa Muse. Lisa was on loan to us from the Board of Equalizations and really spearheaded the project for us. And since that time, we've had a position in our department, the IT manager position, and we're happy to welcome Lisa on board in that position. So congratulations, and thank you for all your hard work. And there are many others that we'll talk about. This project was extremely difficult. Took years to get it done. It was sort of like building a flagstone wall where you're looking for the rock that fits, the way the system was originally. So putting this project together, seeing it to fruition is a huge deal for Jefferson County. Moreover, it's important because we will need, and you'll have in your packets, a copy of a case study. And that case study will be, once we approve the case study, we will be featured in a publication, an international publication, ESRA, about our project. And I think this is the first time in the history of Jefferson County that we've ever been featured in a publication. And once we are featured, we will receive an award on behalf of Jefferson County. So it's extremely important. I'm very proud of the work that our staff has done. What this means to you as commissioners and other department heads, you can say that this project, which was well overdue, had happened during your tenure and under your administration. So we're so happy about it. We'll have accurate information. Our numbers are growing, and we like to think of ourselves as a leader in the state. And Jefferson County has proven that over and over and over again. So thank you all so much. I'm sure you'll have some questions. We've got a couple of other people that will give a couple of remarks, and we'll answer your questions at that time. Thank you so much.
So you deferring all the questions to them?
No, I'm here. No, I
That's
want
good
to bring it
delegation.
up. I'm here.
we'd we'd actually like to thank, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, my name is John Poe, Chief Deputy Tax Assessor here at Jefferson County. There are several people we'd like to thank. We'd like to thank the Lisa Muse, who helps spearhead this project. We'd like to thank the IT support staff, which is Josh Chris. He'll be here to answer some questions a little bit about how this project affects other areas in the county. We'd like to thank the county attorney's office because it was a difficult process trying to get this company in because they had sold to the international group. There's a lot that was going on with that. So we had to work well with them to make sure that we got the contract and make sure that we could get the bid process finalized. All of our mappers, I'm gonna call them out by name because the reason for it is because it took a lot of time to pull this together. Jefferson County, of course, is the largest county in the state, 6 times larger than any other county. And I think we take that for granted because Bessemer is really like the fourth or sixth largest county in the state by itself. So Jefferson County is a very, very difficult place to kind of pull something like this together. We had to work with, so our mappers did a great job. We had Ricky Davis, Sheila Nixon, Stephen Jones, Emery Wheatley. In Bessemer, you had, of course, Bob Henson is the chief deputy in Bessemer. And so you had, and they had Reggie Threadgill, and you had James Shear, which worked to make sure that we verified each location. So out of all those parcels, we had to take our time and verify to make sure that each one of these locations was accurate and correct. I'm going to actually turn it over to Josh a little bit to talk about some of the benefits other departments have received since we've gone to this new process.
While he does that, this is actually taking place of those big L's or numbers that they're showing when they used to do a flyover.
No, well, we're still doing the flyovers. This is just a cleanup of the parcel data.
So this is just
The actual legal boundaries of everybody's parcels in Jefferson County. That was updated across the
and
county.
this is all going to the cloud. It's like I can reach my phone now and pull a hunting out and see if it's property line.
Correct. Yeah.
That will govern it.
Yes. Thank you, commissioners, and thank you, Mr. Poe and Ms. Hendricks, for the opportunity to speak. My name is Josh Chris. I'm the GIS manager for IT. Report to Antonio Crespo and Shree. As you're all aware, tax data for Jefferson County is critical for not only every department, but citizens in Jefferson County. When we began this project, it was the largest tax conversion project in the history of the United States. We were recently eclipsed by Harris County, Texas, which is the 3rd largest county in the United States. We have over 402,000 parcels in Jefferson County, so it's a lot of data, a lot of property. Prior to this effort, we were leveraging 20th century technology, and that's no joke, it was 20th century technology. It was outdated, cumbersome, not scalable to the needs of Jefferson County. So I'm happy to say we're now actually in the 21st century, and not only that, we're implementing cutting-edge technology and applications. Additionally, now all the parcel data is spatially accurate, and really what that means, it's tied to its true location on Earth. And when it comes to land ownership, location and accuracy is imperative, and it also carries, as we know, legal implications. And this effort was a two-pronged approach through recovering section corners, which Ms. Hendricks referenced. We had a contractor actually went out and recovered every section corner of Jefferson County, and then we aligned those parcels to the legal boundaries. So the data today is more accurate than it's ever been. Tax data is obviously very valuable. It goes without saying the assessment and collection of taxes is really what kind of fuels government. But additionally, the data feeds into business systems across the county and impacts nearly every citizen in the county. Our public-facing GIS web application, which you may be familiar with, the Parcel Lookup app, has over 1.5 million hits and gets 1,200 visits each day for citizens of Jefferson County. In addition, parcel data is critical for applications like Acela and CityWorks, which aid road and transportation, development services, environmental services that meet their business and functional requirements. And the parcel data is also the foundation for the addressing data for all of Jefferson County, and that supports our emergency services, U.S. Postal Service, and every municipality within the county. The technology is also allowing us to leverage the data in new ways. So we're working on building dashboards. We've got a couple of those. Those allow leadership to track updates over time, and now we're providing assessors in the field with up-to-date metrics on parcels that have been assessed and those that are pending assessment. And then we're working, obviously, with the tax assessor and the Board of Equalization stakeholders to create additional dashboards with the hope of streamlining operations and reporting. And then, as part of this effort, we'd really like to present this to the broader GIS community and specifically within the Esri ecosphere. Esri is really the industry leader in this. And through this effort, we'll become a lighthouse in the GIS industry, the state, and the county as a whole as in this area. So thank you for your time and consideration. I'll answer any questions you can see.
I had a statement to it. It sounds like to me it would save a lot of homeowners and commercial developers a lot of money, especially when you're talking about a mapping system that's already accurate. And you're trying to figure out those property lines, that's real critical. Because you have to spend a lot of money, and sometimes folks don't have that kind of money, they just want to be able to do business and pay the taxes. I think that this will allow for us to be able to really take back our own destiny, so to speak. Because if you know what you're working with, and then you have the county's system as your point of reference, it's kind of hard to dispute unless you got something else going on in there. I don't know, but yeah, it just seemed to me like you have more teeth. Because right now, I don't think that we have it as such that maybe when you go downstairs and pay your taxes, it identifies maybe your property lines, but this seems to me to be where it's an upgrade of taking into account for some other factors. Am I wrong in what I'm saying?
No, ma'am, you're absolutely right. So to give you an idea about what we were, right? We were under this tile system. There was a system that was over 13. And because of that, it was no longer supported at all by Esri. So it was critical for the county to do, because honestly, it's something we were looking for, because there's a lot of work. So we were looking forward to grabbing this as something to do. It was something we were required to do, because we were losing data records. So that's what some of the files were corrupt. So we couldn't tell you where that was. And so we had to figure that out, because that's important to the taxing structure for us. It's also important for everybody else in the county to be able to identify exactly where that parcel is, especially for services like emergency management services. They use that data, so when you call the 911, they ping that data to know exactly where they're going. And so because the files were corrupted, because it's no longer supported anymore by Israel.
So it's a great navigational tool too.
Yeah, everything goes into it. The mapping is the foundation of how we tax, and then of course how we build upon all of that is a part.
No, but you just gave me a different way of looking at it. So it's not just economically. We also talking about you can say it can be life-saving, especially if you're saying that 911 dispatch uses that mapping in order to be able to direct first responders to a location. Okay, well, hopefully, are you going to allow Helen to share that information in terms of what's been accomplished?
Absolutely.
Kevin?
The article should be out as soon as you.
Yeah, we have to prove this case study, and that you have in your folder. We haven't made it public yet because we're in the process of approving it, but we did want to give you guys a heads up before you saw some article in another publication that mentioned Jefferson County.
Hey, but I think our constituents would want to know this as well, and that's why I'm saying to Cal about making sure that we partner with your office to make sure that this information gets out timely. I think it would be frugal for us to do that.
That may be true, because the award won't come until later in the summer. The local award is at the conference.
When does this system actually start? Or has it already?
It has already.
It's already.
When did it start?
January 23.
Yeah, January 23.
That's when we went live.
Yeah.
We're adding all of these other
Right.
pieces, like Josh was talking about, the different layers, the different departments, building the dashboards. We went live and started editing January 23.
I'm going to tell you the system is wonderful, and it gives you that tool needed. But the engagement of the department over the years hasn't gone unnoticed. and it's been great to work with you. And I've never had you say, I can't. You said, let me work with it, and let's see what we can do. Now you have the tools where you can do it easier. But from personal experience, I've never had someone say that from your department say that I can't. And I know that it was hard to do sometimes, but this is just from one commission. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Bowman.
Commissioners, I'd like to add too, every road project, sewer project, everything we do, this is tremendously beneficial, saves us a lot of time and money. And having the technology, all the section corners tied down will be a benefit to everybody, for years and years and years to come. So the encounter really will make things a lot easier, prevent a lot of mess. If you ever seen a section corner get located in two spots, Don Cole is just awesome to work with, and Ms. Canel, and this young man, Shree hired for our GIS. This is truly cutting edge, leading a lot of other counties who wish they had it. But, and as you can imagine, the more parcels you got with a section corner wrong, it's a mess. All our road right-of-way projects, sewer right-of-way projects, all that will tie in and just be a whole lot easier, save us money every time we do something, save the surveyors money every time they do something. I think it's a tremendous project.
Property owners will fight a war over a foot.
Well, not just property owners, but municipalities also. Because of the new legislation that passed, we have people that come in and want to know where the bill freeze is, if it straddles a line. And that may mean that Birmingham gets the revenue for the bill freeze. For some everybody's like. The other thing the thing that we came to talk about today that's on the agenda also is moving our camera system to the cloud. It helps for a number of reasons. We have all the cyber attacks. I was in Darren's office when I spoke with Jennifer Bird about another camera, and at that moment we talked about the project going to the cloud and what that meant for Jefferson County, and they were in support of it. That's why they approved the budget for us to move in that direction, is to take this, our camera data to the cloud. What is interesting about Jefferson County, again, is just the complexity of all of the things that we have to do. We're already running out of disk space anyway, so we're going to have to do something. We're going to have to buy more servers, or we're going to have to go to the cloud that allows us to scale, and also allows, also has the availability, like Commissioner Stevens mentioned, just internet, from your phone, regular updates too, because cyber attacks are changing rapidly. We also have encountered a little bit more. We've encountered more fraud within office. People trying to change their mailing addresses to get other people's tax bills mailed to their address. So we're combating it as well. There's a lot going on.
Wait a minute, say that again.
So
You're trying to get somebody else's tax bill mailed to you.
I got a bunch of them out here.
Well, here's the reason for that, Commissioner. So these tax properties go into tax. Right?
Tax sale.
Yeah, because you regularly get a notice from the tax collector's office saying, hey, you owe $1,000 or whatever the amount.
Okay.
You don't pay. They settle. And so then somebody comes in and then they purchase the lien. Now they don't purchase the property anymore.
Right.
It's a new process now. They purchase tax, which gives them position within your on your property. We have a situation right now where it's occurred that we're dealing with right now. So that's the reason for that. Reason why they're doing that now. The other thing about being able to have this technology in the cloud is that we're dealing with a lot of things right now. So we had the SCE thing that I know you guys were aware of. That's why the lines were right on the corner, and that affected right about 40 47,000?
We have about 20,000.
Okay, about 20,000 properties. And then, and then as new legislation is going to be a cap on the assessed value for the other 300,000+ parcels we got in Jefferson County. And we don't yet know exactly how we're going to handle that, but we'll figure it out. Yeah. And so, and with that being said, the cloud solution allows for us to be able to kind of go in that environment and be able to work with the agenda that we have, E-Rain currently, and move to that process. I could not imagine going through, the process of, getting a new number and going through this at the same time. So, so hopefully, we can get some of these projects ironed out first, and then, whatever happens after that. And that was it. Any questions?
I do have a question about this photo.
Yes, sir.
It's a before and after.
Yes, sir.
The top is the before.
I know, to me, it's like one of the puzzles where you can find what's different in these two. They look pretty close to me, but I'm sure this is.
So the
update is at the bottom.
They mentioned the old system where these tiles, the coverages,
they
would be, instead of being a line butted against each other, they would be off.
Yeah, but
You
it's
have parcels.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Your glasses fine?
So you can imagine the college you get when somebody says that the street is running through my hood.
Parcel line.
Yeah.
So we got requests every week, multiple properties, the parcel comes through my middle of my house.
Right.
Is this right? Now,
Well, now that you
Right.
Right.
Or deciding other things, like for instance, the board of equalization is going to decide, or not decide, but help taxpayers decide where the kids go to school. So we have homes that are built on property like that, where again, you may be in St. Clair County, right? The bedroom may be in St. Clair County, which is out there in the Trussville area, your area. The bedroom may be out, and it actually may be in St. Clair County, but the rest of the house is Jefferson. So, it's all those types of things that are now way more accurate, and we can deal with issues, a little bit better than we did before.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, thank you.
Joe, a lot of our properties back, used to go to the center line of the road. And that was fine when it was an old country road, when we changed it to a description. But now, when they get ready to four-lane that road, I want to see what they're talking about Morgan Road. I'm getting ready to see how they're going to do that, because everyone's county was on property lines used to go to the center line of the road.
A lot of them do.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell a property owner that that's really not yours.
Right.
It's certainly going to add to the credibility of Jefferson County and what we do. The fact that Ezra is identifying and recognizing what we do is going to really move us up a notch.
The inventions of Lewis and Clark. Right? So in section 9, which Cal talked about, where they had chain, rope, and a rod. That's where the term meets and bounds come from. And so it looks about right, minute right there.
And Gaynell and John helped me, but I changed from a meets and bounds for a lot of my property to a subdivision for a survey, and in order to help when I get ready to disperse it to the kids, I can give them a lot instead of a legal prescription about that long. And they helped me with that. Only thing that I fussed about is the Board of Equalization doubled my property tax.
We're not gonna lower it. And in the old days, you go down 50 paces to the fence on the left on Farmer Brown's store. And
That's the way it was.
I know.
We have They actually have some deeds like that.
I know, I've dealt with that in the past. They put fir trees there in the property corner,
Yeah.
and you go to the fir tree house.
Yeah, and bird trees.
Cedar tree.
Yeah.
Or the one that wrote about riding a horse. This guy gets on the horse with a well-rolled cigarette. Isn't it neat? Ride 7 steps, but however big this horse is, don't know how far he traveled. But those are the types of things that the survey had to deal with to get those, to make sure we got those lines together.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Commissioner Ryan. All right.
Save the best for last.
Well, let me do this. Look here.
Oh, I think you guys have to vote on this.
That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
All right, for the tax assessment, hearing hosted service. That's,
That's what we just finished.
yeah. Do I
Move
have a
item.
motion?
Move the item.
And a motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, now, thank you, Lisa, for clearing that up for my feeble brain. All right. Finance, Ms. Dixon.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have item 1 through 7, which are our normal items, the unusual demand report, our encumbrance report, the purchasing agenda report, and the purchasing exception report. Do we have any questions on any of those items?
Do I have a motion?
Move items 1 through 7.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Under Budget Management Office, we have our multiple staff development, our individual staff development, and our information items.
Do I have a motion?
Move the items.
Motion. Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And Board of Registrars, we don't have anything. Absentee Election Manager, Birmingham Division.
Move the
Mr.
item.
Forrest,
Move the item.
have a motion? Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, Developmental Services. Mr.
Good
Marshall.
morning, Commissioners. This is a request for an off-premise beer and wine sales at a convenience store. The convenience store has been shuttered for a few months and they're reopening back up. This site has a history of sales back in the past, dating back to 2011. The license has been renewed perpetually. The most recent was in 2000. The applicant's record checks out with the ABI report and everything else.
Okay. Quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, do you know what this one is?
Yes.
Before I even mention it. Is that the one that's over there by, I don't know, that's Taco Bell or something that's across the street, but it was,
Yes.
it's on Main 79.
Correct. Taco Bell's kind of catty corner.
Okay, so in other words, it is not residential, Jesus, in the commercial district.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am. And here-
they're just reopening up that gas station?
Correct. All that along the boulevard right there is commercial. You see some residential zoning across the street, but that's undeveloped. It's just large undeveloped with tracks. So, but yes, ma'am, this is right there. It's close to where the former Bam Bam's place of ill repute. Used to be 78 Buffet, back when it was a classic station.
What were they serving? Never mind.
BINGO and
I'll go ahead and I'm going to make sure that our neighborhoods are on board with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Because did you have any objections?
No,
during
in fact,
planning
this
and
one,
zoning?
because it has established sales at this location.
Yeah, and it's
not public
perpetual in
areas.
nature? Okay.
I have a motion, do I have a second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, EMA's got a couple of items here, safety grant, Norfolk Southern, and EMPPA state grant for revenue setup. Do I have a
Move
motion?
them.
Have a
Second.
motion. Second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
General Services, are you all on?
I think we got that one, Commissioner.
And-
Our application. General Services Amendment to the Birchfield Pinion Associates, that's with the Bell Pound, and the resolution for adoption or construction about Mr. Gregg. And that is the contract to start building the
And the medical examiner's
medical
office?
examiner's facility. It's going to be pretty awesome.
I move one, good.
Second.
Thank you all.
I got on number 2, I got a motion and a second. On my sheet, it said the bid amount was $25,784,000
Right, that's what I have to.
for an architect.
No,
that's the
that's the
construction
contract.
company.
That's the contract.
Okay.
And the site work's already underway, so this is.
I have a motion, second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, revenue, Scott? Got it?
We have two resolutions on the agenda. Both are related to amendment to the current credit card contract. We've got a problem. We exceeded the threshold that was in the existing contract. It had a fee set at a certain rate at $4.95 online. But once we exceeded that fee, that contract had to be renegotiated for those fees. So they're both related to that. The first is authorizing the acceptance of the credit card and setting the rules for the acceptance. Right now, we have 3 or 4 different resolutions out there for different departments accepting credit cards. So we wanted to consolidate those. So I'll work with legal to consolidate those into one resolution. So it sets the methods for acceptance and repeals the previous resolutions that were out there for each department. And the second is the actual amendment to the credit card contract, updating the convenience fees.
Do I have a motion?
Move items 1 and 2.
I have a motion. I have a second. And a second. Any further discussion?
I'd like that. What's the cap on it?
It's 1.99%, and then there's a 95 cent, $1.95 minimum and a 95 cent on each check.
Okay. And 1.99%. If I've got a $10,000 tax bill, it's going to cost me $199.
Correct.
Okay. To pay a lot.
No. Come down for
Right. I just want to clarify that.
All right. The motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you. All right. Once again, John, Ms. Hendricks, thank y'all. Sir,
Good job.
for coming and doing that. That's good stuff.
Good
All right.
job.
I have
Move items 1 through 4.
4 community grants. Have a motion?
I already made a motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That's my report.
Joe, you want to update us on ACCA stuff?
ACCA is battling hard. I'll be able to better update you after this week. There's things in the pot that's unsettled. There's motions and adjustments to some of the bills that are in place in the assessments for ad valorem. That bill is supposedly up in a public hearing tomorrow, but that public hearing may not go. So we're just kind of watching that for no more.
Now, are we supposed to have, Mr. President of ACCA, maybe a possible return of that Amendment 1 bill that I spoke to one of the senators, and they told me that probably better understanding would have yielded a more favorable result?
I don't know what they're going to do to rehash that, but it was very convoluted. People read that, and it was like, I don't know what this means. I'm not voting for that. It was really kind of simple.
Right.
But the way the legislative reference has written it, to put it in the legalese, it was very confusing to people, and it was designed to facilitate the process and make it easier to get a local bill passed, or at least get it up for consideration. And if you pass a local bill, then you don't have all these legal challenges saying, well, was there so many people there that voted and counted? What this would do is just eliminate that process in order for a local delegation that has an actual interest in that issue to vote on it without having to go out and recruit people from all around to come in and vote on it. So I don't know if they'll revisit it. They'll have to pass it again, and
They have to start back over.
then you start back over, then you got to put it on, get on the ballot again and win as the question. Gambling is still up in the air. It's going to go back to the House, the Senate's version on it, and it's, we're hearing that the House isn't going to pass the Senate's version or add the Senate's version. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting week.
Anything else? Anything?
Just a quick note, wanted to thank Darren for working many months with Mount Olive to get that agreement done. Thank you, Darren. That was a lot to get that done, and he just kept at it and got it done.
You're doing some good work.
I want to thank General Services for another successful election. If you've ever been to the Op Center and have seen the room, the number of voting machines, that gives you somewhat of an idea of the complication of running an election here, and they're kind of the quiet, unsung heroes that get the machines out with no hiccups every time. Very, very thankful. And then Scott, thank you for working on this credit card fee, and Allison and Sean, Theo, thank y'all for putting up with us and keeping us safe. And I know we scrapped it out a lot, but we really appreciate working together with you and Scott. That's going to be a good deal for us. So thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
County remains legally silent.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you very much.